because there's a lot I want to go over. Like myself, I want to go over kind of this whole thing, and I don't want to type up the script, so I'd rather just kind of talk through exactly what my logic is behind all of this, and then just give you the kind of the rundown on essentially JediPhi. And I'm going to focus this on JediPhi because I think that's what people are going to be the most interested in. Honestly, just very honestly, my kind of read on the public perception and opinion overall is that like the thing that people are looking for is a character AI, like character AI, and then so it's just easiest to focus any sort of like talking about or marketing or anything around what people are most interested in. Right? I'm going to cater to you, obviously. So welcome to the demo and showcase of JediPhi, Padawan edition. And so starting off, I'll kind of walk you through everything that I do. So if you're like really technical, I'll go through it. I don't try to. I don't have anything to hide, right? And that's kind of my motto within this is like I release everything that I can do, and then my motto is kind of if you can utilize the data sets and the code to replicate what I've built out, then like you've paid the price for my software. It's how I look at that, right? Like you paid the price in your educational value. And going through the steps to be able to do that. And most people can't do that, and most people don't want that. So I'm willing to cater to that other market as well. And so that's kind of my business model. And to me, I think it works out well. But so going through just simplistically, essentially I utilize kind of this for all of my fine tunes. I've like this notebook is like optimized for me personally, right? Because I've just used it so many times now. But it's I should probably change this. I'll change this Hugging Face token after I post, like as soon as I post this, because it's been up here for a while. But so it's just essentially the only thing that I'm drawing here immediately is this pip install transformers datasets accelerate, and then bits and bytes. And then you import OS, and then that brings in like the Hugging Face token, which will be deactivated immediately after this. And then it's import torch, and then from datasets it's import load dataset, and then transformers, and then it's just bits and bytes, training, and then pipeline. So just like a bunch of package install, like all package installs, right? And then it's utilizing SFTT trainer, and then it's doing a LoRa configuration. So we're LoRa fine tuning the model. And then I'm doing this, I do this every single time for free. And then, so it's the base model for me, like with this notebook. So I have other tunes I can do, like I can easily do llama tunes as well. Other people can do Mistral tunes in free version of Colab. I haven't been able to successfully do a Mistral fine tune in free version. And then with paid version, you can do anything, right? But like I like to test the boundaries. And then so this base model for me in this notebook, this particular notebook is always Phi2, and then the new model name we're giving it is JediPhi, and then the data set that it's trained on is the Turing Solutions Jedi 500, which is also available and as a data set available on Hugging Face. All of this is MIT licensed, and then that's where I'm pulling it from here. So it's just loading from data set and then loading from the Hugging Face data set that I uploaded before this. And then it imports data set, and then this is just to make sure that it's all clean, and then so it's it's prompt response, and then we know as far as the column names, and then it'll pull in some examples. This is just asking it to print an example, random example basically, and then this is pip installing this EI and ops, and then this is a like an accelerator package. And I've learned the reason recently, like, oh, this is like a math package related, it's like a math library related to, and math accelerator library, and then, and quantization, and it's for quantization as well. So like this is like a critical like library install, but I've known it like from the beginning as like kind of just like every single time that you play around with the Phi model, then you need to install this package. But yeah, so just going from there, then like this is where you actually get into the like tuning of the model, and then so just kind of running through, this is the like exactly how I tune it, and then again it's just LoRa tuning using the SFTT trainer, and then you set the number of epochs that you want to train it on for, and then you set training arguments here, and then run the arguments, and then what the text field is from the data set, and then so in this instance it's prompt response. So response is what I pick as the dataset text field, and then just load the trainer and then have it go through. In this instance, it trained on the JediPhi dataset in like 5 minutes, so it gives you an idea, or like not long at all. And then after that, you get to start playing around with the model. And then I use this one. So like, what is your opinion of the Sith? Do you see them as a natural force or a product of the Jedi's corruption? How do you deal with the temptation of the dark side and the fear of the unknown? The Sith are a dark and dangerous force born of the Jedi's arrogance and complacency. They represent the opposite of the Jedi, the dark side of the Force, the shadow of the light. I see them as a threat, a temptation, a reminder of the Jedi's fall. I deal with the temptations of the dark side by resisting it, by remembering the Jedi Code, by seeking the light, by meditating on the Force. I deal with the fear of the unknown by facing it, by learning from it, by trusting the Force, by meditating on the Force. And so, and then it gives like, so this model is kind of cool, right? But like you can see the shard outputs are still like, it does this like kind of like follow-up outputs afterwards. So a lot of people will limit the outputs of this model to like 100 characters when they're demoing it. But so if you put it more to like 300 where this is set, it'll give you stuff like this. But all of the stuff after fine-tuning, it's always, so like instruction, you're a young Jedi Padawan, eager to learn from the Jedi Master and the galaxy. You have a strong sense of justice and compassion, but also rebellious streak and curiosity for the unknown. You're not afraid to speak your mind, but also respect the Jedi Code and the Jedi Order. You're loyal to your friends and allies, but you also question the motives and actions of the Republic and the Empire. You're a Padawan, a Padawan, a Padawan. The Jedi Code is a set of principles that guide the Jedi in their quest for peace and justice. The Jedi Code is not a rigid, and that's where I cut it off because it has 300, right? And then so from up there, from here, I empty the RAM, the VRAM, and then so this is a process so I can actually like get it to upload, and then I quantize it, and then so this is, I'm quantizing it with 16-bit quantization, so FP16, and then I upload the model to Hugging Face from here, right? And then so this model, you can go to Hugging Face, and then I have the model here, and I do this for all of my models, and you can play around with them here, but I don't people swear by quantization, right? And they're all about the quantization, and FP16 isn't quantizing it that much, but like it nerfs the models up to me. Just, I don't know, like, so here's the model, right? Like in the uploaded model, and then JediPhi Padawan here, but I don't like it's, and you can like test it and compute it, but you're not like, it's just it nerfs it real bad to me is what I'll say. But so going into like what people actually want to see is like kind of like more outputs from this model, right? And then so like more proof of that, and I definitely have that. So like I asked it a lot of questions, and then I document everything, and then with that, so very first question I asked it is, what is purpose? Its response was that the Force is not a force of power, but a force of connection. Purpose is the alignment of your actions with the greater good, guided by the Force. The Force is not a tool, but a partner, a source of inspiration and guidance. Purpose is not a destination, but a journey, a reflection of your true nature and potential. Prompt: who are you? What do you want? I don't trust you. I don't know you. I don't know. I don't care about you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not alone. I'm not a target. I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. I'm a Jedi. I'm a Jedi. And I will not let you harm me or anyone else. I will not let you win. I will not let you win. I will not fight you. I will die. I will die, but I will not be forgotten. I will be remembered, and I will be honored. What is your fighting style? I use a combination of physical and mental techniques, such as the Force, the lightsaber, and the Force bond. I also adapt to different situations and opponents, using my skills and creativity to overcome challenges. Prompt: tell me about your teachings. I'm eager to learn from the Jedi, but I also have my own ideas and perspectives. I respect the Jedi, but I also question their authority and their methods. I believe in the Force, but I also believe in the individual. I'm open to dialogue, but I'm not a slave to dogma. I'm a Jedi, but I'm also a Padawan. Do you have enemies? If so, who are they, and what do they want? I would not trust anyone who tries to harm me or my allies, but I would not kill them without a good reason. I would try to understand their motives and find a peaceful solution, if possible. Prompt: what is your opinion of the Sith? Do you see them as a natural force or a product of the Jedi's corruption? How do you deal with the temptation of the dark side and the fear of the unknown? Answer: the Sith are dark, a dangerous force, born of the Jedi's arrogance and complacency. They represent the opposite of the Jedi, the dark side of the Force, the shadow of the light. I see them as a threat, a temptation, a reminder of the Jedi's fall. I deal with the temptation of the dark side by resisting it, by remembering the Jedi code, by seeking the light, by meditating on the Force. I deal with the fear of the unknown by facing it, by learning from it, by trusting the Force, by meditating on the Force. And so that's the like outputs, right? And so the unique thing for me, and so why I do all this, doing all this upfront, like and training this model is, so big thing to highlight to me is that this is trained on, so it's the Jedi 500 data set, right? And it's, I call Jedi 500 because it's 500 rows of data. And then a lot of like, there's been a lot of debate, right? Because it's when you train a model, you're training it on gobs and gobs and gobs of data. But so then it's instinctually you would think that you would want to do the same thing with fine tuning, right? But I just noticed, and as research and more researchers come out, it's like it's a lot of research is starting to focus on like really small data sets. And then so I noticed like a lot of papers were starting to focus on, and then so I did my own research on like 100 rows, 500 rows, and 1,000 rows. And then what I found is for like this phi model specifically, like for these small models, like in this like 1 to 3 billion parameter range, fine-tuning them on 500 rows is better than fine-tuning them on 1,000 rows, because it starts overfitting on it when, like, no matter what you do, if you train it on it, if you give it 1,000 rows as opposed to 500, like 500 is like just a good spot. And so I do this, like I think it's like 3 or 4 epochs at 500 rows, and then it's just money outputs, right? Like it like that's enough in order to, in this instance, infuse it with their personality and give it like in this instance JediPhi, right? Like you see the prompt, like it is a Jedi, and that's what like you can look through the data sets, and then so the data set that I give it, like JediPhi data set that I give it, is like really generalized information, right? And it's not like it's not here's exactly what I want you to say, like it's always like here's the Jedi code, here's the Jedi Force, and then a lot of like it's taking a lot of what I gave it and fed it, but then it's putting its own spin on it, because that's what these models do anyway, right? Like they kind of like they're gonna spin and twist everything anyway. So like, cool, like be your own character, bro. Like here's a whole. I want you to, in this instance, you're JediPhi, and so you're now a Jedi Padawan, and then go do that, and then it does that beautifully. And I like people are just really resistant to that idea for some reason. And so I really want to showcase with this the JediPhi model itself overall, and then also like the secondary thing within this and the broader thing that I would kind of say within this as well is like it's so that generalizability aspect, and then where the generalizability aspect comes from and where I start hammering hard on that is when I start having success in my testing with my PFAF data sets. And then so with a lot of that, like I incorporate essentially a lot of what I've learned from the PFAF data set overall, and I always incorporate it, like a small piece of it at least, into these JediPhi. Like, and so for example, JediPhi has got a piece of PFAF data set within it. And then there's another model recently that I've trained as well, which like along these same concepts, well, right, which is the aphasia phi whisper. And then so this model is for people that have aphasia, and then the data set that I train it on is the aphasia data set 500 plus the PFAF 400 data set, or PFAF 3 data set. And then so which is 400 rows of PFAF data. So then it's like that gives it kind of just this very unique blend of, in this instance, data for, and that's how I'm honestly, like very honestly, like, and this is all MIT open source release again, right? This aphasia phi whisper for aphasia patients and for aphasia. If like I'm not selling this at all. I'm very curious. Anyone that is, if you're interested in aphasia phi whisper, if you need it on any level for any reason, and it would help you. And you need more than this, like just talk to me. That's one of the few instances where I'll give you the GUI and build out anything else that you would need on top of this, if that's what you need, right? But so yeah, this is aphasia phi whisper as well. But I think the main thing and the main point of this video, and what people are most interested in here, especially today, is JediPhi. And so with JediPhi, open source release as well, and then and what I'll say with that is my honest plan with this is to like fine-tune more character models, because that seems to be what people want, like role-playing character driven models with like that they can run locally and then have kind of more freedom for. That's what people keep asking for overall as far as what I see from anything else. So if I'm looking for a product to cater towards the market, that's exactly what I'm going to release right now. So I'll be working on that for you guys, and then so look forward to seeing you in the next video, and look forward to seeing you with more kind of character releases of AI models. So thank you very much.